Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Empire Total War with the American Revolutionary mod. Last time around we took the southern states of Georgia and Florida. And we also sunk the British Navy that was stopping us trading out of Pennsylvania, so we took back that port. And yes, that's about what happened last time. There's probably some enemy movements maybe I forgot about. Yeah, the Cherokee moved in and burnt most of the Algonquin territory. Before I'm going to go ahead and end turn, as I need to do, what I am going to do is we're going to have a little battle in which this army is going to move across the border and we're going to attack the Iroquois Confederacy. Agungshaw has set up his, he and his tribesmen have set up here on the other side of the mountain. We will strike and hopefully dislodge them. That will enable this army to continue on. Get rid of the Cherokee over here as well. See if we can maybe have them switch place with Washington, which will free up Washington's army, and so he can continue on and we can finalize the defeat of the Iroquois Confederacy. But before any of that is going to happen, we of course need to bring this army to bear on the natives. So without further ado, let's march to the sound of the drums. Right, so really I've only had the only problems I've had is against the natives, which is kind of interesting. The English hasn't been that much of a problem. It's mostly against the natives which I struggle, to the point where I even lost a battle against them. Now this would be like the 18th video, so I can't exactly remember everything I did, but I'm pretty sure I've only had one loss. Unless I'm mistaken. Oh yes, we lost the territory up here, so 2. But that one I don't really count, because that one wasn't even close to I didn't stand a chance to win that one, as I recall. Anyways, we have a general, which should greatly help our force. We have some new units that we haven't seen before. I have 5th Pennsylvania, but most importantly, the Spanish Grenadiers, and we have Congress Militia, kind of crap. Marines, we haven't seen those, and I think we have a Thomas Hartley, yes. So I think we might have seen the other Thomas Hartley regiment, unless I've sent that north. And then we have some 16th century gentlemen. Tobin Wilcox. Spending too much time going through the units. Let's go into battle, shall we? We have crossed the mountains, are about to attack the natives. They do have cannons, so it's gonna be us that are attacking them. I wasn't really aware of the fact that, I mean, look at these guys. They have a very sort of ragtag formation. I didn't realize they had such, but I mean, it is a militia, so not that surprised. Hopefully, that means the entire unit will fire at the same time. And I've got 3 of these, and I've placed them in the center, making the same mistake, or was it the mistake Mel Gibson made? On the far left, we have, I mean right, I was looking from the wrong side. We've got the 5th Pennsylvania, not that funny to look at maybe. But here, we've got the United States Marines. We've already kind of seen them, because they have put these guys on their ships in the naval battle. So we've kind of already seen these guys. But here we go, I've placed them behind the Congressional Militia, just in case they retreat. And over here we've got the Spanish Grenadiers. I kind of wish they would have the Spanish flag rather than the American one, which looks a bit odd. But I guess that's a nationwide... Oh yeah, I forgot the last unit. We have Thomas Hartley's regiment out here. Since they have 65 accuracy and they kind of look like light infantry, they're putting them as a sniper on the farthest left. With that said, let's go ahead and start and see if we cannot beat the natives. They start quite far away and they have entrenched the cannons. Which is probably actually a pretty bad move. Because, they don't really stand to receive any cannon fire. And it kind of locks them in place. So that they cannot maneuver the cannon if they would want to maneuver it out of, swivel it around to try and, fire canister at us. Also, it's a really bad position because you can see that they can look about up to this tree. So about here. Which means my infantry can march way up. Probably even around here they would be able to come under canister fire. But I mean, if you time it right, they could probably have time to run and charge these guys down before they were able to. And this cannon is positioned so poorly that it's firing into the defense that they've built. Kind of interesting with this guy's face. They've gone out and modded in, he's painted his face like that. The enemy does have an advantage in cavalry, which could come as a problem, because I only have my general as my cavalry unit. And it would be rather foolish to threaten or send him in. I note here that I haven't checked where the cannon shots have actually landed, but it looks like they're actually attacking the Congressional Militia, which is probably the worst strategy they could choose, as you would really want to target the high-end troops like the Spanish Grenadiers rather than the militia, or target the Marines or something like that. They're inspired by nearby units. Are they inspired by the sight of the Spanish Grenadiers, or by the fact that they've got the US Marines coming up behind them? Right, we have a large contingent suddenly appearing, kind of out of nowhere, making their way towards us. We'll have the Grenadier move into position at once. General retire. Hartley's regiment will stretch out and prepare to fire. Congressional Militia will move quickly into position. We'll put the Marines behind, tell them to hold fire, and the 5th to move into position. Hartley's has opened fire, and they've managed to kill about 30 natives at this range, which is quite astonishing given the range. But then again, they run in a perfect kind of lineup. Let's see. Are they gonna come close enough for my Grenadiers to open fire upon them? I mean, kind of clever coming out if they can sneak out of the forest and attack from here. I think the medicine men are gonna come within range, but I don't want to fire just yet, because I imagine they're gonna retreat out of range pretty soon. I'm gonna move the general over to the flank, and he's gonna help out. Right, they're probably going to flank us with the medicine men. So I'm gonna order the grenadiers to open fire. Okay, not really a fan of the fact that the general is running in front of the line. First volley of the grenadiers, and the medicine men are routing. Spanish grenadiers have very high accuracy. General will move into position and fire upon them. Hartleys will continue to harass the enemy as they retreat. So it's a good start to the battle, with a clear victory for us over the natives. Let's make sure that all the Spanish grenadiers are... Yes, they have reloaded. As I'm expecting a high concentration of enemies in the forest. Oh, they're coming back. Not for long though, I imagine. Shaken and tired. Plus constantly under fire from Hartley's regiment. And the general, what we'll do is I'll tell the general to retire slightly, and then Hartley's to slightly angle themselves. I guess the enemies are now concentrating around the cannon. I want to just make sure that I am... What are they doing? The medicine men are running all over the place. They're stopping, possibly to throw their tomahawks, or... No, they just want to move in range and take a load of fire. Right, I don't want to see those guys again. So I want to secure the flank that way. Right. With that done, we're going to start the main advance up the hill. Those guys are gone. And the medicine men are not going to come back. The medicine men lend a morale bonus to the rest of the army, so it's kind of interesting that the AI decides to throw them in on my flank first, when it probably would have been better to keep them alive. This is like the not one step backwards group. In case the colonial militia falls apart. Just opens up a massive hole in the middle of my line. Alright, looks like cavalry is coming our way. They fired on the 5th Pennsylvania, which lost 8 men. Okay, the Congressional Militia only fires first rank. We've only taken 4 of those dragoons. Or native mounted gunners, I guess we should call them. General is kind of moved out of line with the rest of the army. We'll have the Grenadiers quickly move into position and have Hartley's moved into the flank. Also, as we're getting this close, they should all be set to fire at will. We don't want to have a mishap. Cannons are firing into the ground. We're having a hard time actually shooting the native gunners. They have taken quite a few of us, and they're holding up my progress on actually taking this hill. We're starting to lay down more and more fire upon them. It would have been nice to have... Maybe I should have sent Hartleys to that area and then fired through the flank. Killed loads of them. We're gonna have the Pennsylvania's possibly move up. Looks like that. No, they're reforming. I have time to waste though. I don't need to throw my men into that. Hartley's will be able to fire all the way here, which could easily trigger those guys. But I don't want to tell the Grenadiers to hold fire, and not just yet anyways. They are able to fire here, but given the angle, I doubt they could actually hit anything. This unit has actually lost almost 40 men, which I'm not entirely sure. They have lost... is it a dead body? It looks like there's a dead guy over here. Sounded like someone got hit over here. But the angle isn't really great for these guys. They would have to move to another position, or have these guys really move. We'll tell them to hold fire for now, just so that they're fully reloaded. You know what? We're gonna force them away. With the Congressional Militia. And we're gonna bring up the 5th. Looks like the main native force is actually moving back. Do we... You know what? We're gonna brave the hill as well. I'm gonna have Hartley's coming in here. The enemy is just sitting in their position. We're gonna let the Spanish go into position first, before I send up the center. So we're gonna have the Spanish move all the way up there. With Hartley's coming in the flank, these guys are gonna hold fire. I'm gonna be situated on the flank. Okay, so they're not gonna move up there, but these two coalition militias should move up here. Ooh, Chief's bodyguard moving on the flank. Ooh, let's see. Hartley's regiment could, if they have time to fire here, absolutely massacre these guys. Kind of in the way of the Spanish Grenadiers here. Rolling volleys on the guns. For some reason the enemy is very hesitant to actually fight us. There we go, now the chief is attacking one of the Spanish Grenadier units. But the enemy is still kind of persisting in just like sitting there. Not entirely sure what they're waiting for. Not the greatest of angles for the Spanish Grenadiers. And the enemy, the native artillery wasn't actually completely dead, and that's, I guess, why they're waiting. I'm gonna tell these guys to hold fire, just for now. Okay, the enemy's general's moving forward. I was hoping that I could move the... we're gonna move this one up to a position where they can give proper fire on the enemy. The 5th seemed to have been given ample opportunity to fire their fire by rank on the enemy. Gonna move them closer. Right, here we've got a good position for these guys. Now these guys are actually having quite a bit of problem. We'll order them to form square. Actually force the enemy away. And there goes the enemy general. Drop the square. And join the rest on the front line firing on the enemy. I wonder if I dare call a bayonet charge by the Grenadiers. You know what? Let them fire first. The enemy is routing. Order the rest to advance. It ends today. One unit is standing to fight us, Native American warriors, against the very tired Spanish Grenadiers. Charging through the forest. Charging through the Native American unit, which I'm not entirely sure where they're going. Oh, they're going for the 5th. And the Spanish Grenadier is catching up behind the enemy as the 5th is regrouping. The Continental Militia is stopping to fire. I'm gonna tell them to hold fire though. I'm gonna tell the 5th to hold fire as well. Now we have a melee in between the Spanish Grenadiers and the natives. A few, in the commotion there, a few Spanish found themselves kind of isolated from the rest. Okay, we got more coming back, bowmen. And the general is kind of marched way up front. The Spanish Grenadiers are winning. They are tired though. We've got the 5th, could deliver volleys into this, but we would risk shooting some Spaniards. Right, move into position. These guys, if we can have them fire on a, what's it called? A right oblique towards the enemy. It took one volley and they ran. And I do believe that is that. And yes, we won the battle. Probably going to chase them down a little bit more just before I go ahead and end it. And then we'll move back onto the campaign map, shall we? Looking at the casualties, we can see that we lost about 250 men, where in which the enemy lost 1,000. Highest kills goes for the general, the only cavalry unit on site, so he ran down a lot of those natives, 355 to be exact. Then we got one of the units of Spanish Marines, the ones that were charging in. They come in second place with 172 natives killed. Thomas Hartley's regiment comes in third with 123. Pretty cool, good kill to death ratio, as they only lost one man. Then we've got Pennsylvania regiment, Continental Marines. I didn't use them at all. They only lost one man from, I guess, stray fire there from the front line, firing at the Congressional Militia. Congressional Militia didn't do too well. Combined, they killed about 150 and they lost about half of that. And hopefully, the unit persists, retreating closer to whatever river that is. We'll continue forward. I have no money to replenish the unit. Next target will be these. General, gain confidence. So he's a confident general at this point. I'm going to go ahead and end turn, but I don't think we have more time to do anything in the episode, but we can take a look at what possibly could happen in the next one. So let's go ahead and end turn, shall we? Enemy raided Harrisburg and the French Cree mine. So what was that unit? The Native Americans that somehow slipped through first attacked Harrisburg. For some reason, the British are really targeting Harrisburg. I don't know what's wrong with Harrisburg. Who built in the Iroquois territory? Can we recruit anything special here? No. Nothing interesting. Electric Pistol, Italian professor. Alessandro Volta has presented his latest script for an electrical experiment to the leading scientific society. An electric pistol. Right, this force can clearly continue on. Great, kill these. Ooh, the British are within striking range of George Washington. That's not good. I wonder if then these would move forward, strike, and then join, just join with Washington in anticipation of the British attacking. They are building more forces in the north. In the south, we are more or less completely under control. They're not too unhappy either, so we could at least exempt them from tax and move north. This unit needs to go. I'm gonna take the entire force. And they're gone. And so Nathaniel Greene should drag all his troops together. Gonna go ahead and build these up. Exempt them from tax. This one was not needed, but then again I haven't moved out the 3rd New York just yet. But now it needs to. And then I think these were, yes, this was the light brigade that we left. I'm gonna exempt this region from tax as well. And then 1800, yes, that seems fine. So now your target is to move to the Cherokee territory. I think we're gonna go this way around instead of going the way that they are proposing, just because that's the way the enemy would go if they were attacking. Oh yeah, a lot of ports I need to rebuild. But then we have really kind of the setup of what's going on next. It's gonna be around this region that stuff's gonna happen. We've got these, but they won't be reaching there in time. Instead, what they could do is they could march across here, threaten the British in the north, and that could possibly pull these guys back from Washington's throat. But with that said, I'm gonna end the episode right here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.